Damn, my beater's looking fucking crazy today. Alright, so you got Patrick here, and let's talk about the world famous Grunt Fry. That, it's a technique that I'm coming up with because I'm sick and tired of the way that teachers are teaching how to scream out there. I don't like it. I think it's damaging to the voice. I think there's a lot of techniques that are really, really bad. This compression scream thing that people are teaching. No, we're not going to do that. But we're going to do something similar to it. Okay? I call it the Grunt Fry. Now, notable singers that sing this way would be Scott Weiland from Stone Temple Pilots. Okay, so listen up. So it's like, I am spitting like a rose that somebody gave me on my birthday deathbed. Okay, it's a Fry scream, but I'm getting into that. I am spitting like a rose that somebody gave me, 'cause I'm dead and bloated. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, and I can sing through it now. Okay? Now, I don't even know if I'm saying the right notes, you know. Here I come, I come, I come, I come. You know, you can get that kind of rasp on there. Here I come, I come, I come, I come. If you pull back on it and relax it a little bit. Yeah! Okay, you can add in more and more of a rasp, more of a gravel, I mean. Yeah! And it's all a part of the technique, and there's no differentiation between the two registers either, which is really great. And this has taken me a long time to get into, but I knew that it was possible. I knew that I was going to be able to do it. You know, stuff like I'll make a beast out of myself, gets rid of all the pain of being a man, or yeah. You can really belt, really scream. That is definitely where M. Shadows is singing from. Nirvana, you know, doing the same thing, a little bit different with Nirvana, but it's the same thing. He's the one who likes all our pretty songs, and he likes to sing along, and he likes to shoot his gun, but he knows not what it means. Knows not what it means, yeah. Okay? You can get all that crazy shit up there. And the greatest thing about this particular way of screaming is that you don't have to push your voice. I'm actually not singing that hard in the voice, okay? Even though with stuff like, yeah! I'm actually not using that much effort. It's just a lot of resonance, a lot of tone. And that's kind of towards a darker vowel. Yeah! You know, kind of thing. But what I would say is this, guys. The best tip that I would give you to trying to get into this Grunt Fry scream is to first and foremost learn how to scream. I think that's the first thing you've got to learn. You've got to learn how to fry scream first. And so that's why you hear singers like Kurt Cobain getting into this stuff so easily, because if you listen to his older albums before he was in Nirvana, he just kind of screamed. Same thing with Shadows. Sorry about that. My thumb in the way. M. Shadows was somebody who was obviously a really great screamer at one point in his life, and still I think has the ability. He's just doesn't want to go back to the technique because I think it was hurting his voice. But as long as you're conservative with this, as long as you're not pushing your voice too hard, you'll be fine. Now, your voice will get raspy, and if it gets raspy, all that you've got to do is just clean it up with some tongue trills. And so if you start losing your voice, stop singing. Maybe sing clean, you know, for a little while, and you know, just start doing some tongue trills just like this. You want to go from your bit into your call register down to the bottom to the vocal fry. So okay, put on a timer for 5 minutes and just do that. Come back, see how you're doing. Now, the way that you can tell whether or not you're losing your voice or if you hurt your voice is whether or not you start having trouble speaking. Now, that could also be that your voice is in screaming mode. That could also be that your voice is in singing mode. So take that with a grain of salt. It's really, if you're talking like this, then you're way overdoing it. You're way overdoing it. And that can't happen. You hear, you know, all these singers that sing this particular way, they do kind of get that. But the thing that's so great about the Grunt Fry, and I'm going to teach you guys how to get into it a little bit, okay? I'll try to at least. But the thing that's so great about it is that you don't have to push the voice. You have far more control over the voice. It's, you know, hitting upper register notes is super easy. I mean, it's like I'm singing like this, like you know, it's really yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, it's really pretty easy. I'd have to push a little bit higher on that, higher notes there, but you know, it's pretty easy to be able to do. There's nothing really that hard. Okay, so let's talk about getting into it. Okay, I've shown you that I can do it. I've shown you that it's a superior technique to all the different techniques out there. I mean, it's like, yeah, you know, the bathroom's over there, man. You know, you can take a dump over there if you want. It sounds fucking terrible. There are some good singers who do sing that way, but not very many. Lane Staley being one of them. He's a great singer, great singer. I'm trying to think if there's any others. I mean, there's a lot of 80s singers that sing that way. I personally think for modern metal, for modern rock stuff that you guys would be doing today, I think that learning the Fry scream is absolutely mandatory. So let's talk about the technique, okay? You want to get both the upper register, which is the high scream, and the lower register, which is the low scream, down, okay? You need to get them both down if you want to be able to do this, because you have to have that release through it, okay? So that's going to sound like, you know, like, okay, and you take that up a little bit higher. Oh, the blood's on the wall, so you might as well just admit it and bleach out the stains. Coming to forgetting it. Okay, see who gives a fuck. Yeah, in the high screams. Yeah, coming to forgetting it. You want to get all of those down. If you can get that stuff down, then you'll have no problem getting into the Fry grunt, okay? Which is kind of like, okay, it's kind of getting it like that, like you're grunting, but you're trying to find that vocal fry rather than getting into it on the gravel. You're not trying to feel that gravel. You're trying to find the, okay? And it needs to be released through the scream, through, needs to be released through that. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck in the chest voice. You won't be able to go up higher. And that was the problem that I had. Now, Kurt Cobain would trap himself in the chest voice. He would do that on purpose, and he would just strain his voice going up the top, which, you know, you'd hear some shows where he sounds really good and some shows where he sounded really, really, really bad, which I guess for him sounded really good, but you'll strain the crap out of your voice. You've got to get the release in the lower register. And so, how do you get the screams down? How do you get that stuff down? And then we'll talk about really getting into the Fry grunt. So how do you get the screams down? The first thing is that you've got to get the vowel placement right. Okay, so you're in the lower register. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, it's going to be an ooh, almost an oh, not quite a French oh. It's ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And you take that and you put some air through it. Okay? Oh, and you should be able to go like this, like kind of a whoa. Oh, oh. You should be able to do that. You know, it's the okay, which is, you know, I'm turning red. Yo! You should be able to do that. Okay. The upper register is a falsetto, and you're going to get it through either an E or an A. Now, I like the A. Ah! Ah! Notice how the note's there. It's not just ah! It's yeah! 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 Okay? Yeah, real life, line falsetto, I do cocaine. I do cocaine. I do cocaine. I do cocaine. Okay? Now you know why you've been shaking. Now you know why. Why? Okay? And you're going to start to be able to get into it. Okay? But that's really the initial way that you're going to do it. So, you start out with just a real light sound. So it's going to be like, oh. You're just adding in, that's what you want to feel. Yeah, you're trying to feel that, and through the note that you're singing, you're going to put some air through it. It's going to open up the chords at the same time that you're doing, oh, okay, so, oh, okay, and then you've got to yell it a little bit. Oh, oh, and you can do it on an, like an, I do the E to practice as well. Okay, that's a good one for the low notes, for the lows. And then practice songs, guys. Practice songs. That's a good way to get it down as well. I would say practicing, you know, different death metal bands out there. I mean, I'm a big fan of Amon Amarth, you know, obviously. Lamb of God is a great band. I mean, there's tons of great... You guys know this stuff. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You know, if you guys want to go into, like, Suicide Silence and Whitechapel and some of those bands where they scream absolute bloody murder and they do it way better than me, then that's cool, too. You can do that as well. Saw Whitechapel live. One of the best freaking rock vocalists, metal vocalists, whatever you want to call him. Hardcore vocalist. I mean, is he even rock, man? He's too heavy for rock. Great band. Awesome. And I can't scream that way. But... It's more so than anything about getting the vowel placement right when it comes to the death metal screams. If you guys are looking to get into that. Now, we're not talking about that. We're talking about how to get into the Grunt Fry, okay? So that's the first step, okay? You get that thing down, you get it released. Okay, you've got to practice a lot. That's the best advice that I can give you. You know, the higher screams. You get this little... which is just feeling like this. It's just... okay. Yeah! And you just add some air through it, and then you sing it. Okay? And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much how you're doing it. Once you can get that, then you're going to try and do the Grunt Fry. Now, this is very much a punk rock technique. Okay? A lot of punk rock singers sing this way. The Grunt Fry is a little bit different than other things that you've probably been used to. But you're literally going to grunt, okay, like you're taking a dump. And you want to get it into a higher register to where you're feeling the fry. So you're going to feel the, okay, you want to try and find that, and then you've got to release it a little bit through the fry scream, okay? Okay, you should be, that was terrible. You've got to be able to release through it. So, okay, like a, I am, oh, let me see here. Here's another singer. Casey, I'm easily bothered by persistence. One step from lashing out at you. What do I do? Is there no standard anymore? Who I am, where I've been, where I've gone below. Then, let's see here. A lesson learned in life, known from the dawn of time. Respect. Walk. What do I do? Okay? You're going to do stuff like that. And you can get into all of that release there, okay? And then it just will go all the way up. You're grunting. You're, yeah! And all right, okay? This is the painkiller. No! Okay? No, I'm no Rob Halford, but that is pretty much where he's doing it. And, you know, if you want to pull back on some of the compression that we're adding in, which is really, which is what that is, you can. The problem is that when you start going into the upper register, it's going to really lighten up. And so you don't really want to get into it that way. It's going to lighten up so much that you're going to just be going, yeah! And you stay in the falsetto. You stay in the upper register. So you have to be able to use a little bit of strength, use a little bit of that grunt, and then you get the fry in there. You want to try and find that placement that's yeah, and you have to get that release, otherwise it gets trapped in the lower register. Anyways, Patrick O'Brien, songrocker.net, and leave your comments in the comment section below.